If you are frustrated with Instagram, I would strongly consider utilizing LinkedIn to market your business. Number one, the audience there is more professional. And number two, they have more money. So, more money means less effort when it comes to generating sales for your business. So, if you have been like me, where you created a LinkedIn profile back in the day and you didn't think it was important to utilize as a business owner or entrepreneur, I would encourage you to loop back and try again, because LinkedIn right now is really functioning like the early days of Facebook. You're getting organic reach, you're seeing people network and collaborate, and people are really producing some quality content there. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through 10 things that I recommend. Technically, I have 11 because I thought of one more, but 10 things that will help you to optimize your LinkedIn profile specifically for sales. Now, point number one is customizing your banner image. And this is where going into Canva and organizing your Canva account is going to be super helpful. So what I'm going to show you here is what it looks like inside of my Canva account. I have a folder called Social Media Cover Art for Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Buy Me a Coffee. There is a cover photo area where you can have a larger image, but all of them have their own specs and all of them have their own areas where things can get cropped off. So what I do is I create a separate design in Canva for all of those platforms. And when I go into the LinkedIn one, I just have a list of different designs. So if we go into Canva and we update or we open up the LinkedIn one, you're going to see a variety of covers that I've had, whether I was marketing the 25 days of Canva or marketing the Bootstrap Club. I strongly encourage you, actually, I'm so glad I have this, to go follow Lucretia Davis. Lucretia is phenomenal at LinkedIn marketing. She has over 100,000 followers on the platform. I didn't even know that was a thing. And so I took a lot of inspiration from her in terms of reverse engineering, like what is she putting in her cover photo that's helping her to generate sales, and doing it in my own way. Now, what I love is the fact that I make it legible on a cell phone first. So many people are utilizing LinkedIn on their cell phones. And so you want to make sure that when you look at your cell phone, let me see here. I've got to double share this because I'm realizing now you guys couldn't see it. We're going to share it again. The joys of live streaming. You guys have got to optimize your cover art for cell phones because that's how a lot of people are looking at this content. So let me scroll back up since you guys couldn't see it. This is what Lucretia's cover photo looks like. You can see I've had previous designs for the Bootstrap Club, 25 days of Canva, and this is all in the same Canva design. Now, in this particular case, I actually put a phrase on the cover photo and simply the link to my YouTube channel. Because if they can come to this channel, I can expose them to so many different things in my business. So my particular call to action is simply to watch my content. But for you, it may be opt in for your freebie or your lead magnet. It could be schedule a discovery call. Do not be afraid of putting a call to action on top of your image because that is valuable real estate. So when you look at this on a cell phone, you can see that that text is positioned in such a way where it is not cropped off when you are looking at a cell phone. And if I were to go into the desktop version of LinkedIn, this is what that same graphic looks like. So yes, you can totally see all of the text. You can see my profile picture, but remember, I'm paying attention to the fact that I know most people are looking at LinkedIn on their phone. And so I want to make sure that entire text and that call to action is seen if they are looking on a mobile device. So that is a huge piece of advice I would have for you, is customize that banner image. Take advantage of it, because especially on a desktop, it takes up a lot of space. So that is valuable real estate for you in your business to drive traffic to the things that matter most to you, but also keep it organized, because you may have a launch coming up and you may need to switch out that image to promote whatever it is that you're launching. Just like when I did 25 days of Canva, my cover art changed for that. And then I changed it back to this generic call to action. So I see here, I need to do this. My Canva account is messy. The vast majority of people using Canva have a messy account. I have a messy account, which is why I periodically do Canva cleaning parties to walk you guys through the steps that I take to tidy things up. So we will have a Canva cleaning party. I think I'm going to do June, to be honest with you, because once we hit 4th of July, we're in the peak of like summer mode and no one really cares. So stay tuned for a Canva cleaning party. All right, so number 2 is update your profile picture. Now, my profile picture right now is actually the same from, let's see, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, across the board. I use the same profile picture. I like to do it that way so there is brand consistency. And if you take a look at this profile picture, one thing that will really stand out is the fact that I cropped it in super tight so that when you see that little image, when it's super small, you can kind of see it on the right-hand side. When it's super small, I still stand out in the comments. So a lot of you, your profile pictures are too far back. So I want to encourage you, if you have uploaded a full body image of yourself to LinkedIn, go back in and crop it a little bit closer so people can get a good look at you when they see your profile picture. So if you've not updated your profile picture in a while, make sure that you do that. Now, I'm going to sit on this one for a little while, and I think that it is super important that you guys pay attention to this tip. Refresh your bio to reflect what types of leads you're hoping to get from LinkedIn. Okay. A lot of you will create a bio, and that bio will be the same across all your social media platforms, and nothing about it is compelling enough for someone to take action or to know what types of leads or referrals that you're hoping for. So when you take a look at how my bio is written, it starts with speaker and tech educator. I am on LinkedIn to book speaking engagements and to develop relationships with SaaS companies or tech companies. I do a lot of things, right? I'm technically a Squarespace top level expert, which means I can design a website. I'm technically a corporate video producer, which means I can produce a video for your organization. I have a background in theater, so I could act in a piece. I could script a piece. But what I'm on LinkedIn to do is generate leads for speaking and tech education. I don't need to tell them everything about me in my bio on LinkedIn. A lot of you are trying to cover too much ground. And the primary thing at the beginning of your LinkedIn profile bio is not something that would compel people to refer you. So start with that little heading, just like you would on Instagram. You know how you have like your name in Instagram? Do your name on LinkedIn. What do you want leads for? Then you need sort of a mission statement. Here's what you want leads for, but like, how do you go about doing it? I teach busy business owners on a budget how to work less and live more by leveraging tech. You guys will see me saying this on this channel. You will see me saying this on Instagram and in posts on LinkedIn. I want to be known for being the person that is pushing sustainable business models by leveraging technology to do things automatically, to do things through automation, instead of encouraging people to hustle their face off and grind. I also want to specifically gear my content to people on a limited budget. I am not for the person who is a 7-figure entrepreneur. Don't come to me for that type of information because I can't speak from personal experience about that specific thing. But when it comes to bootstrapping, when it comes to having a limited budget, I have 10 plus years experience of what that looks like. And so I want to be specific about my approach to education, not just the fact that I educate. Then I believe, this is just my 2 cents, I believe your bio should have some type of name recognition or some type of flex in the bio, right? Because all of us talk a good game on LinkedIn, but you need to be validated by someone else in order for someone sight unseen to book you. And so that's why I have Canva Verified Expert and a Flowdesk University instructor. It is not about booking Canva workshops or booking Flowdesk workshops. It's about saying these two companies can validate that I know what I'm talking about. If you know them and you trust them, you can trust me. All right. So that's my little flex moment, my name recognition that really helps people to overcome the fact that they've never heard of who I am. Okay. Then the very last thing is SaaS UGC creator and strategist. So it's a stretch. I'm not going to lie to you. It is a stretch for me to get UGC work off of LinkedIn. But if they're there and they want to pay me, why not? Okay, why not? And so that is why I have that information at the very end, because that is not primarily what I'm hoping for leads for. So when you look at my bio is not telling you every single thing that I can do, every single aspect of my life. I'm just saying, if you're going to send me business, I want this kind of business. I want speaking engagements and I want opportunities to teach people about technology, specifically people on a budget who want to work less and live more. Okay. And so that is why it is structured in this way. It is structured for sales. It's not structured for just impressing people. This will sell people and it will make sure that people are asking to buy the things that I want to sell. So that is point number 3. Now, point number 4 is an area that a lot of you aren't utilizing. I may actually need to do a whole tutorial about showing you how to do this, because maybe that's why you're not doing it. But if you scroll down on my LinkedIn profile, you're going to see an area that says featured. Featured is the equivalent of pinning a post or pinning a reel on Instagram. Now, featured posts make it so much easier for people to click and go where you want them to go. And so ultimately, you need to make sure that your featured posts help make admin easier for you or have clear calls to action in terms of what you sell. So for me, I noticed that LinkedIn events are kind of hard to find once you post about them, even for me. And so I pinned the post about the LinkedIn Live I have coming up on June 5th, which will be linked in the description after this video is over. And so that is purely for admin purposes. Like, I will remove that after June 5th, but I was having a really hard time finding it. And so pinning that post made it easier for me to find, thus making it easier for other people to find. The other 2 posts that you see are about how you can work with me, about Canva workshops, and then about SaaS UGC. So those are pinned. You can actually have more than 3, but it's only going to show 3 at a time. So you can even reorder your featured post to focus on the things that you're trying to promote at that point. But make sure that you're pinning something, because that is valuable real estate. So number 4, again, is pin featured posts that make your admin easier or have clear calls to action. Now, I already posted for today and I will pull up the exact post, but as you can see under activity, you only have a little area of text before LinkedIn will say see more. You want to create your content with short hooks so you can read them in their entirety before see more. So for today's post that I posted before this live stream, I said, slow down to go fast. Trust me, your mental health and bank account will thank me later. Okay, so I wanted to make sure that entire phrase could be read before people click on show more. And so that's the hook to entice them to actually click on see more or show more. So once I click on that particular post, you will be able to see that it is quite a lengthy post. Now, the whole logic behind why I structure my post the way that I do, that's a whole separate conversation. But ultimately, I created this post to have content that will generate leads to the replay of the Work Less, Live More workshop. Okay, so that's a kind of thought that goes into my LinkedIn content. Even if it looks like I'm just shooting the breeze and sharing my heart, there is always a benefit or a next step to my content. And so now that I have done the legwork of making the replay from last week's workshop a digital product in my shop, I'm just going to go back in and edit this post, because this post will live about 1 to 2 weeks in terms of traffic. And so that'll be a really easy way for me to drive traffic to my workshop and go beyond, the 50 students that I had in the workshop. There may be a few more after that will want to watch it, even though they couldn't make it live. So generate your content for LinkedIn, not just for engagement's sake, but also use it to promote digital products. That's a really easy way to generate money in your business. And if it's something that's $25 or less, like, people are super likely to click on it. So that is what I recommend when it comes to content marketing. And like I said, the primary focus of how it is structured is to make sure that when you see show more, it's really separating out the hook from the rest of the content. And then I'm also a huge proponent of uploading like nice photos. And the photo is going to appear to the left-hand side of it as a very small thumbnail, and it's going to crop out the center of your image. So be thinking about that when you upload your images to LinkedIn. So those are 5 points, and I still have 5 more. So if you have not, my friends, liked this video, subscribed, and turned your notification bell on, I would encourage you to do it, because I'm hitting my stride with this content, and I'm really sharing a lot of information that most people would keep behind a paywall. I just think it's fun to share with you guys. I'm in an abundance mindset right now, so I don't care about giving. So make sure you like this video if you like it, subscribe if you want to see more, and make sure you turn the notification bell on. All right, now this is an amazing hack for those of you who are speakers. I'm telling you right now, you may actually want to screenshot this to remind yourself to do it later. That tip is make your about section your podcast bio to simplify your life. When I tell you the amount of podcast hosts that go to LinkedIn and pull whatever I say in that bio, in that about section, as the intro to their podcast episode, it will blow your mind. Podcast hosts are super busy. So make it easier for them by really structuring that bio in such a way that you don't mind someone saying it out loud, okay? A lot of you want to stuff all of your accomplishments in the about section. You want to focus on everything you have possibly ever done. But I'm telling you, if your about section is really structured to be something that people wouldn't mind saying, something that rolls off the tongue, that helps cover everything that you're trying to cover on a podcast episode, all you have to do is copy it and put it in an email or upload it to the form when people book you for their podcast. I have like a Google Docs somewhere with my bio, but I'm on LinkedIn like every day. So it's so much easier for me to just copy and paste what I have in the bio and submit it with my headshot to the podcast host, submit it to the conference organizer, submit it to the summit person or whoever. So if you are a speaker, this is a hack that I really, really, really want you to pay attention to. Specifically gear that about section to content that you want said before you speak. This isn't about, oh, I'm just reading about you. If someone has to speak about you, if someone has to introduce you for something, this is the content that you are willing to have said out loud. Just putting that out there. All right, number 7 is put extensive descriptions under your work experience with links. Okay, with links. A lot of you don't link to content there. So if you scroll down, you can see here that I say YouTuber, tech educator, and trainer at Bootstrap Biz Advice on YouTube. Bootstrap Biz Advice is a YouTube channel with 1 million plus views comprised of video tutorials, reviews, and business advice videos, and exists to equip entrepreneurs with the skills they need to leverage technology to grow their businesses, generate passive income, and achieve debt freedom. I am a Canva verified expert and Flowdesk University instructor. I also partnered with tech startups to test new mobile and web applications designed for entrepreneurs. You can also see that there are 3 thumbnails underneath that section, and those link to an interview with Jotform, Flowdesk Checkouts, product rollout video that they have me do, and my philosophy behind the 20-hour work week. You can link to content. You can link to your website. You can link to digital products. You can link to whatever it is that you want to do. But your experience section on LinkedIn should not just be text, because more than likely, compelling video content will compel them to hire you to do the things that you say you have experience doing, right? So I will tell you, like, words are cool, but if you can hit them with the video, hit them with the video. And so that is what is linked under my experience section. And then I go into detail about the other things that I've done. But do an extensive description of what you did when you worked for the various companies that you worked for, and don't forget to incorporate your links. I will also tell you, don't forget certifications under education, not just your degrees, because here's the reality of the situation. If I go to education, you're going to see that I went to Liberty University and got 2 degrees. I got a BA in Theater Arts Performance and a BA in Theater Arts Production. Because at the time, my goal was to open up my own theater. I had been acting as a professional actress since I was 7, and I was like, this is going to be how my life's going to end up. I'm going to own a theater. This was pre-COVID, obviously, and I realized, like, man, there's no money in that. So I did not do that. I also went to an arts high school. So I will tell you that technically my education may lead someone to believe that I'm not qualified to talk about technology. So it would behoove me to add some certifications to further show, hey, even though my degree is not related, I got the degree. So it communicates that, I have a work ethic, that I can finish when I start, that I'm an intelligent person. So that's why it's there. But certifications would take it to the next level. Unfortunately, in my industry, there aren't as many certifications for the things that I teach. So my title, like Canva Verified Expert, Flowdesk University Instructor, that's more beneficial. So I might go back in and add that stuff, but since I already integrated so much throughout my profile, it's not entirely necessary. But a lot of you have continued education that you do, whether it's a certification because you are an accountant, or you are a teacher, or you are a counselor. Make sure that you put that in there too, not just your degrees, because that shows that you continue to invest in being good at what you do. So don't forget your certifications. Now, y'all know, if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, I am huge about volunteering. Do not sleep on volunteering, okay? People want well-rounded people. If you volunteer at your church, if you are on the board of a local nonprofit, if you are a member of a civic organization like Rotary, then I would encourage you to maximize that volunteering section, because it shows you're not just all business, you are a well-rounded human being. And that could be a huge benefit for people looking to bring you on for a long-term commitment. If people want to build a relationship with you, they want to know more about what makes you tick. And so the things that you choose to volunteer for, the things that you choose to do when you aren't being paid, say a lot about who you are and what your values are. So if someone was to go look at my section, they would see, holy cow, this woman is really into Rotary. And they would be right. I was club president. I was the first actual African-American female president of the Rotary Club of Lynchburg Morning. I was the public image vice chair for District 7570. I was the assistant Rotary public image coordinator for Zone 33, providing subject matter expertise to Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee, and South Carolina. I was the Area 5 Rotary Foundation advocate, which means I know how to raise money, and I was the public image chair for my club. So that says a whole lot about who I am that may not be featured with my theater degrees, which may not be featured by my speaking or tech education angle. So understanding that for years and years and years, I gave of my time to invest in my local community and my global community through Rotary, that says a lot about who I am as a person. So if you have those things in your business and in your life, go ahead and update that. Keep it up to date with the things that matter to you. And if you don't have anything to put there, let that be a wake up call to you that you're working too much, and find a cause that you can get behind so that not only can you obviously help them, but you can add it to the section. All right, last point, and then I'm going to give you a little bonus. Hide irrelevant recommendations and start soliciting recommendations after every contract. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I've been in business for a hot minute, and there were recommendations for services that I no longer provide. So that's great that they had an amazing experience. I love it for them. However, I want to be very specific about the leads that I want to generate from LinkedIn. And so it's important that the recommendations reflect what I'm doing and where I'm going and not dwell on the past. Okay. Some of you got recommendations from people that sort of like traded recommendations back in the day, where it was like, hey, I'll recommend you if you recommend me, and then we can both grow. That ship has sailed a long time ago. I was shocked at the amount of recommendations I had that were 5, 6, 7 years old for services that I don't really want to provide anymore. And so you can hide irrelevant recommendations. And now what I do when I do a coaching call is I say, hey, are you on LinkedIn? If they say yes, I've said, okay, well, hop over to LinkedIn after the call's over. Go ahead and connect with me. I would love if you had a positive experience for you to provide me a recommendation, because I'm trying to build my recommendations up specifically for coaching. I would really, really appreciate that. And 9 times out of 10, people do it if they have a profile. You can also review the recommendations before you push them out on your profile. So if people say stuff about you that you're like, yeah, that's great, but that was not something I feel like I can duplicate for everybody, or I don't want to be misleading about what I can and cannot do. Do you mind tweaking this a little bit before we push it out? You can do that. So LinkedIn recommendations to me is like the holy grail of LinkedIn, because it's so cute what you say about yourself. Like, I love it. I'm glad that you have great self-esteem and you think you're amazing at what you do. But when other people vouch for you, that elevates anyone in my book, especially if that person is someone of influence, right? If it's a tech company that I admire, or that person has a title, CEO, CFO, CMO, if they're a C-suite executive and they're saying, sis, you need to hire LaShonda because she's no joke, that carries so much more weight than just having a recommendation from your peer. Not saying peer recommendations aren't great, but people can see the title of the person recommending you with the recommendation. And so if I were to go to my recommendation section on my LinkedIn profile, and I were to go to a recent one, we'll go down here. Let's see. So yeah, this journey kind of started with Just Extra. So let's do that. I will share this tab to show you what I mean. All right. Okay, so Just Extra is the one. She has phenomenal training on LinkedIn as well. And she said about me, LaShonda is an incredible speaker, both in person and virtual. Not only does her energy grab the audience from the beginning, the time and thought she puts into her visual presentation is unlike any speaker I've ever seen. She's a no-brainer for your next event. So if we go back to that mindset of what am I actually trying to get leads for on LinkedIn, the fact that she specifically said she's a no-brainer for your next event, she's great in person and virtual, it's like, man, dream recommendation for speaking, especially because when you look at Just's profile, it says Just Extra, Forbes top rated speaker and author of Chasing the Bright Side and Create Your Bright Ideas. So she is someone whose opinion really matters. She's someone in the industry who's killing it. And she had that to say about me. And so that recommendation carries a lot of weight. Right above her is a recommendation from Elliot, who is the senior marketing manager at Jotform. Above him is Maddie Eady, who is a social media marketing manager for Flowdesk and the partnership marketing manager for Flowdesk. And so her opinion carries weight as well. And so I will tell you, don't sleep on your recommendations either, and just hide the ones. Hide the ones that are no longer relevant to where you are, because those take attention away from the things that are more beneficial to your current season in life. So go look at your recommendations. If there's some in there that are super old or not relevant, hide them and start soliciting recommendations after every contract that you do. So my little bonus tip for you is one that I didn't think about until after the fact, but I do think it bears highlighting. And if I go back to my LinkedIn profile, we'll make this a little bit bigger for you. You can see under my location in Forest, Virginia, some verbiage that is clickable. You do have a link in bio on LinkedIn. However, you can change the text. The text does not have to be the literal link you're sending people to. So this is just my recommendation. Take it for what you will. Very similar to Instagram, where you have one link, but you may want to direct traffic to multiple places. If you look at what it currently says Automate IG Sales Workshop. That is because on Thursday, I will be doing my workshop on Bootstrap Bot, which is basically a mini chat workshop about how I leverage this technology to automate sales in the DMs and in the comments on Instagram. So because I'm still in registration mode, if you will, that is the verbiage that I have there. However, if you actually click on that link, this is what it is sending traffic to. At the very top, you see Zoom Workshop Bootstrap Bot, which is exactly what I marketed on LinkedIn. However, you can RSVP for my LinkedIn event. You can go to my YouTube channel. You can shoot me an email. You can support my channel and buy me a coffee. You can book me for one-on-one coaching. So this is essentially my link in bio page. And so although the text says Automate IG Sales Workshop, I want to make sure if I'm sending them there because of the workshop, that they can see more of what I offer. So that's a fun thing about LinkedIn. Just like if you do the links on Instagram now, you can kind of edit the text that is seen versus where people actually go. You can do that on LinkedIn as well. So that's your little bonus tip. If you didn't know you could do that, that's what I recommend. Yes, drive traffic using the link section, but drive traffic to like a Linktree vibe so that people can see a more comprehensive view of what you have to offer. All right, friends, there you go. There is your deep dive on optimizing your profile on LinkedIn. I am sure you are slightly overwhelmed, and that's okay, because I'll have more videos ready for you to help you walk through all those things. I'm going to play the Bootstrap Stinger. Look in the comments for your questions, and then we're going to hop into our Pomodoro session. All right, friends, I'll be right back.